So good morning and welcome to our 40-day sojourn. Today we're going to talk about intention, the second key of creating as Christ, the second key to the kingdom, and how very grateful I am that you have joined us here today. It is a wonderful journey that we're on together, and I'm just trusting and knowing that wonderful, magnificent things are unfolding and happening in your lives. And in my life, I know that it has been a gift for which I thank each of you for bringing your attention and awareness to this journey together, because it's been a gift for me as I prepare to leave on my Camino in a couple weeks here. And it is lovely to be reminded of this pathway of the way of the heart. So as I say the way of the heart, I allow a smile to illuminate my face as I begin to turn within and allow the body eyes to close. As I do so, it represents turning away from the world of form and condition and turning inward to the miracle mindedness of joining with the mind of Christ. And as I do so, I allow the tone to be the call, to move from the intellect, to move from the head to the heart, allowing the shoulders to drop, allowing the crown to open, to be receptive to the divine impress of spirit, activating and illuminating the spiritual eye. As I breathe in and out, aligning with the mind of God as Christ. As I join with the beloved of my being, the love energetic that created me, that is the source of all that is, seen, unseen, in between and beyond, that is the source of the divine spark, that is the Christ of my being. As I bring my attention and awareness and focus to this ember that is within me, it grows, it expands. I am home. And in this home, I abide as God created me, as the beloved of God, as abiding in the heart and mind of all that is now and forevermore, as Christ, as the Son of God, as the sunbeam to the sun, as the wave to the ocean. God is, I am, and we are one. There's only one activity that is ever going on, and it is this. It is this relationship that I value more than anything, because it's the only thing that is real, is true. And from it all, webs of relationship come forth in perfection and wholeness and harmony. God first, love first, and all else proceeds from there. So in this single pointed, directive, intentionality of following my heart's desire to only be as God created me and to awaken to this holy relationship. This laser-like focus allows everything else to dissipate and disappear. As Christ, in perfect safety, I abide. I release all tension. As Christ, in this perfect safety, I allow the mind to dissolve into the perfect peace of the mind of God. I am peace. The peace of God washes over me. And as I rest in thee, I breathe in and out the elixir, the life force, the energetic of the love of God. As I wholeheartedly accept the love of God in the stillness now, following my breath. This time is blessed. And so it is. Amen. And so maintaining this space, maintaining this Christ consciousness, maintaining this connection, we just allow the conversation to flow from here. That we have focused this time upon the only relationship of value, which is our relationship with God, with love, with the source of our being. That as we plug into that and cultivate the desire of our heart, like nothing happens without desire, nothing happens in the creative, energetic flow of our lives without the desire, which is that love that points the way. And what we find is that our lives are more harmonious and peaceful and fruitful when we connect first with the mind of God and align there. And begin to ask, what would I love? What would I love? What does love wish to express and extend through me this day? We've said previously that our only function is to teach only love. What am I to teach this day? What am I to know this day about love, about myself, about my brothers and sisters? How may I serve? And we begin to court that continuously until we arrive at this place where, yes, we have many desires of our heart, but what we begin to see is that each of these desires actually support supports our alignment of being a channel for spirit, being a channel for God, not only to accept and receive love, but to extend it in our lives. So love becomes the energetic that restores us to our function of being happy, our function of being the teachers of God, our function of being the beholders of the truth and the light in the world. And so the desires of being in a 3D world that may carry us to having a certain function or having a certain role. What I know and what I experience is that those function and those roles are temporary, that they rise, like the wave out of the ocean, but that they, being birthed in time, end in time. And when it's time for them to end, whatever the role is, whatever the function is, whatever the job is, whatever the way of being is, that it returns to the ocean, not to die, but to be requalified, to rejoin with the depth of the power, to be recalibrated, to the gift has been received from whatever it is, and now something else is being created, and we just keep courting that. At a time in my life where I am witnessing the dismantling of a previous desire, a previous way of expressing and extending my gifts in a way that is complete, is done, to be serving a certain community, to have a certain role or function. It is complete, it is done. And as it is complete and it is done, it returns back to the ocean. And that it can be really uncomfortable watching the dismantling of something. But I got to tell you that when we can do it from the consciousness of, oh, what rises in time ends in time, but what is eternal is the function of my being, of being as God created me to be, and that the gifts that I have to share are now being reconfigured and recalibrated and being energized in a different way, that they will extend and express in a different way. And so in the human realm, there might be sadness or attachment to a form, but in the formlessness, and when I remember myself as Christ, there becomes a peace and a freedom and an excitement and a curiosity of, oh, what's next? And so you see, I share this with you as we follow the one value, the one relationship of value. Oh, I value my relationship with God. I plug into that continuously throughout my day. I desire only that. And that desire then propels me and guides me and leads the way. So we have an axiom that the only relationship of value is the relationship with God, and we have this key of desire. The key of deliberate creation is to become aware, to meet the self, the divine self, and the true desire of the heart, which is the desire of God, of how I be and express in the world. And it will always be a quality that is timeless, but it will extend in time in unique and different ways as you. And so where the second key of intention comes in, is intention is where we marry it to our desire. And what that means is that we bring forth a focus and an intentionality that we're going to dedicate and commit ourselves to the desire of the heart, to the relationship with God. And as we cultivate that, we cultivate it in the 3D and the time-bounded experience. We must cultivate it there. And if you're like me, what I realized before I came to this teaching is that I had previously cultivated the art of distraction. The art of having a desire of my heart, but being pulled away from it, being distracted away from it being pulled into, without intentionality, being easily pulled off course, if you will. And so our intentionality is what keeps us on course. And when we have axioms of truth, when we have keys that can help align us and keep us focused on what our goal is, and the goal always belongs at the beginning. And if you recall, our goal was to be as God created us to be. We put it right smack at the beginning on day one. And to cultivate that desire. And we have been, oh my gosh, all of the people who are listening day after day as we walk through this is practicing intentionality. And so we can pat ourselves on the back and say, yay, we are being intentional. We are being committed. We are following the way of the heart because we're utilizing time each day to focus on it and to remember why we're here. And so when we do that, that's when mountains move. And it's extraordinary because the second axiom, the second spiritual truth is I need do nothing. I need do nothing. And that's hard for us sometimes because we feel better in our doingness. But all this really means is that we're going to be first. We're going to connect first and trust that our doingness is then guided and is then dedicated to the goal that we've placed first. So I view the second key of intentionality as I was talking with a friend yesterday and GPS came up, God positioning system, and we have our goal in the beginning, and it's that desire. It's propelled by our desire. Where do we want to be? Where are we going? Where are we already? And we're just remembering. And so we plug that in. And then our intentionality is like that GPS that's continuously recalibrating us to meet the goal, to arrive at the goal. And remember, our goal is a journey without distance to a destination that has never changed. So part of what's happening in the I need do nothing aspect is that we can give up striving. We can give up the level 2 consciousness of manifesting and making things happen. Because the great manifester of all that has been harnessed by our love of that and valuing of that relationship and opening to it and being the channel for it, such that for all those who love God, all things are possible through the channel that we've created through our intentionality. I'm here for God. I'm here for love. Yes, my role might be teacher, speaker, mother, worker in some way. But there is a timelessness and a quality that is eternal back of those things that are always moving us in the direction of love. And so we take a breath here. How grateful I am for this opportunity to utilize time through the intentionality of being dedicated to the desire of my heart to be as God created me to be. I rest here often throughout the day. I rest here and plug in here and dedicate and commit myself to be the channel to utilize time in a manner, in a way in which I now cultivate the art of remembering why I'm here, who I am as spirit, What I am as Christ is the Word of God, and how I serve as the channel and the extension for love. My goal is at the beginning, God first, love first. And I continue to ask, how may I follow love? How may I follow love? How does love want to express as me? What would I love? And this is how I practice my intentionality, as I allow myself to be used joyfully by God. How grateful I am for the privilege and the honor to be self-emptied and God-filled this day. Go forth as the messengers of love, of peace, of joy, of compassion, as you be as God created you to be. And it is good and very good, and so it is. Amen.